Every time the man spent $5,000, he would summon 5 loyal bodyguards. But instead of using the bodyguards to go to work and make money for himself, he had each of them take out a $50,000 loan from a lending company. Then, he used that money to summon 200 more bodyguards. He made the 200 bodyguards take out loans as well. And so the cycle continued, back and forth, until within a few days, he had amassed 100,000 bodyguards. The high-interest lending company thought they had struck gold, with nearly 100 customers applying in just 1 hour. Soon, the company's wealthy owner took notice. The employees informed him that the funds were running low, but the wealthy owner was thrilled, and immediately borrowed money to lend out at high interest. In no time, the man had earned $10 million from this method. Both sides were caught up in a frenzy, one side borrowing money, the other lending it out. Eventually, he managed to borrow $100 million. The shady company ran out of money. What they didn't know was that the wealthy man had altered the loan contracts, planning to get the money back in 3 days. With the $100 million turning into $300 million by then, he was eyeing the man's interest. But little did he know, the man had no intention of paying the money back. It turns out the young man had once been wealthy, but had been tricked by his ex-girlfriend into losing all his funds. Now, his mother was gravely ill, and she needed $500,000 for surgery. He tried to ask his ex-girlfriend for some money to save her, but instead, she forced him to kneel on the ground, and then drove off in a luxury car. The car's owner was none other than the wealthy man. The young man, desperate, knelt in the street, unable to afford his mother's medical bills, and at that moment, he didn't want to live anymore. Just then, a luxury car drove by, and he didn't dodge, but instead opened his arms, letting the car hit him. He was thrown several meters into the air, but unexpectedly, a system voice echoed in his mind. "Congratulations, post-system awakening." The system quickly repaired his body, and when he woke up, a beautiful woman was urgently calling out to him. She rushed to take him to the hospital, but the young man waved his hand, saying it wasn't necessary. After all, he had intended to die, and didn't want to drag anyone else into it. But before leaving, the woman still took out $5,000 and gave it to him. Not long after, the system's voice came again. Strongest Big Brother system activated. He could now summon low-level bodyguards. Without hesitation, he spent all the money to summon low-level bodyguards. Soon, 5 bodyguards appeared out of nowhere, all kneeling before him, calling him their leader. These weren't just system-generated characters, but actual people from real life. He intended to ask the bodyguards for some money, but they were all poor. The wealthiest among them only had a $5 expired lottery ticket. The bodyguards were nearly driven crazy, as the $5,000 couldn't even cover their costs. He thought about having them go to work, but the bodyguards firmly refused. At that moment, the online lending platform called him, offering fast loans with no review process. This gave the young man an idea for wealth. He immediately collected the ID cards of his 5 bodyguards, and had them each take out loans. He then transferred the money into his own account. This cycle continued, summoning bodyguards while having them take out loans, until he summoned a total of 10,000 bodyguards. Meanwhile, the lending company's boss was thrilled, having lent out $100 million, with the expectation of getting back $300 million